kind of what I do when I come to town. I've spent the last 2 decades studying the horse, and it's been a wonderful journey for me, not one I ever planned or anticipated, and that one without a few bumps in the road. In the horse world, a bump in the road could be getting brushed against a tree or stepped on or bucked off, or maybe even a trip to the hospital. 20 years ago, mine was a trip to the hospital with a broken collarbone. I had 2 Argentine fillies to start, Argentine thoroughbreds were going to go into polo, and first one was real easy, and with that success under my belt, I got on the next one, and it all worked out great. And, but you always have to push the envelope. You know, I started with both horses in a round pen, and I thought with the second one, I thought, well, I'll ride out a little bit. So I rode over to the house I lived in, which was 300 or 400 yards away, and kind of hoping to show off for some people that might be around. Nobody was around. And got her to take, this horse's name was Moonstruck, got her to take a couple steps in the pond out in front of the house, and I rode her back to the round pen. And as I was getting off, my right foot brushed her rump, and she wasn't ready for it. I hadn't prepared her. She dumped her on the ground. And I didn't get hurt, but she was really stirred up, because she went from seeing me up above to all of a sudden feeling this weight shift, and then, you know, my right foot brushed her rump, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm on the ground. So, you know, you kind of go through what the horse is going through, and she was completely stirred up. So I put her in the round pen, and I knew I couldn't leave her that way. So I stalled as long as I could, because she was really stirred up. And I didn't have the ground skills that I have now. And, but eventually I went in and got on her, and she was like a coiled spring ready to explode, like a keg of dynamite. It was unbelievable, really scary. And I recognized pretty quick that I really was in way over my head. But the moment I shifted to get out of the saddle, she started melting down. So I was stuck in the saddle, and nobody was around. You know, when you want somebody to show up, it's like, you know, nobody's there. When you don't want people, it's UPS trucks, low-flying airplanes, everybody's brother's bugging me. Well, today I needed somebody to come, because all I knew was that if I got that head around, she couldn't bug me off. So we'd take a few steps, and she'd start freaking out. Get her head around, get her head around, get her head around. When is this getting done? I don't know how long this lasted, but eventually I thought, well, I'll let her trot, burn off some of that energy. About 2 or 3 strides at the trot, and she just catapulted into the side of the solid wooden round pen, heard a loud snap. My left arm wouldn't work, I broke the collarbone, didn't know it at the time, but then somebody showed up. so we got my saddle put away, and you know, went to the hospital and found out I wouldn't be riding horses with a broken collarbone for about 6 weeks. I was 39 years old at the time, and I did a lot of soul searching. It's like, you know, do you really want to keep doing this rodeo stuff at your age? You know, you're a little old to be doing it. But I couldn't, for some reason, I just couldn't leave it alone. So I decided that I'd keep going. But I made a solemn promise to myself, and that was that I would create a ground system that would dramatically heighten my safety before I got on the horse. And I did that, and it's what I teach all over the world. And it's kind of my claim to fame. You know, I have a 7-step safety system that I teach to people in clinics, and it's been written up in Western Horseman magazine in a 3-part series last century. But that's really the whole deal. To me, it's all about, you've got to have control of the horse. And if you don't have control of the horse, you don't have anything. It starts on the ground. If that horse is running you over and you don't have control, what's going to happen when you get in the saddle? So control leads to confidence. Once you have control, then you can become confident. You can start thinking. Because if the horse is running you over, trying to run away with you, you can't even put a plan together. So control leads to confidence, and that leads to good communication. That's when you start thinking and offering the horse some kind of a deal. So that's kind of what the whole thing's all about. I've come to realize, you know, it's like if you don't have control, you don't have anything. There's some basic tenets of natural horsemanship. Reward for the smallest try, the slightest change. Make the right thing easy and the wrong thing difficult, uncomfortable, comfortable, and uncomfortable. Resistance meets resistance. If you reward for resistance, you'll get a resistant horse. If you reward for softness, you'll end up with a soft horse. I like to talk about the 3 T's: theory, technique, and timing. Don't do anything unless you know why you're doing it. I mean, we see people running horses mindlessly in circles, and you say, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm round penning the horse. What are you looking for? What do you know? And they don't know. It's like, if you can't answer that question, don't stop. That's the first T, is theory. Why are you doing something? And the next one is technique. How? How are you going to do it? You know? And at first, you're probably going to be a little incompetent. But the third T is timing. Your timing gets better and better and better the more you work it. Theory, technique, and timing. I always start out with what I call bonding. I give to the horse first. All right, I like to get the lead rope up over the horse's back and just start with some nice firm strokes. Release. Trying to settle this guy down a little bit. Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. Okay. Trying to rub those eyes a little bit, and ears. Get the corner of the mouth. See, when they're working their mouth, it's a sign of relaxation and understanding. And we've got, we got a bit of the case here. Get inside the nose. And I'm trying to melt this horse. I'm trying to find what can I do? And it might not work, because I might have a horse that's just so sketched out that just doesn't want to settle it. You can handle it. Pressure. Constant downward pressure release. Constant downward pressure release. Boy. Reward for the smallest, try the slightest change. Don't think you run any over. Got that head to drop. Constant pressure. See, when I'm getting the head to drop, I'm saying to the horse, yield to pressure, which is the most basic premise of all training, and get relaxed, because if that head's down, you've got a relaxed horse. And conversely, it might not be so calm. That's what I need, a good horse. See, so what I'm doing is I'm showing the horse in a nice place right in here. There's the mouth working again. Get the head drop, start to take nothing. You drop it right in here. I use that noise, that SH noise, to let the horse know when they're doing the wrong thing and getting out of bounds. Can't touch them very lightly in the girth area. You touch it right in here. Right in here. There it is. Good. You see, I'm just driving the horse around. Call it lunging. My right hand's accelerating. Turn up the energy, send the horse off. Quit the second I get. I keep flapping my arm, what's going to happen? I'm going to keep getting that horse higher and higher. No, that's not what I want. See, I've got what I want, so I don't need to do anything. I've got cruise control right here. Okay, I'm just like him to walk, because I've got a thoroughbred with a lot of energy here. I want him to just walk rational. This is beautiful. I can't believe it. Thanks for putting a spell on it, Chaz. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we're going to go back to that safe, loving place I created with the head around by winding. He gets it real good. Again, walk in toward this hip bone, kick in line hand over hand. Now watch where I toss from. Watch where I toss from. Right back here, and toss gracefully over his back, and winding down to stop. Come right in here, touching his girth area. Waiting, 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 waiting. I don't care how long it takes, just constant pressure. On the left side, the left arm is just hanging on. This is a nice place. You can start to look for me there. So this time now, I'm going to go ahead and run the lead rope around behind and head him unwind away from this pressure. There's a V right there. See, it just fits right in here. And stay out of the kick zone. Don't be right in here where you're going to get kicked. I know somebody got kicked. I broke their leg in Costa Rica. You're looking at him. That wasn't a lot of fun. Back in the jungles, broke my leg. Getting out of there. And I can cluck him a little bit. I can pull a little harder. But what do you feel? He's disengaging his hind end. So his right leg is going to step underneath. No. And I'm also desensitizing those back legs. Okay? There it is. And disengaging the hind end. Watch that. Watch this inside. You can't do too many of these one minute stuff. It's pretty easy, really. I mean, if you get here, it is. Bring it forward, set down. Good boy. Good boy. Now, just bring it right about there. Yeah. See, he's being rewarded. Every time he gets soft, he's being rewarded. You need to drop your head. Constant pressure, constant pressure, constant pressure. Can't let me here. What I like to do is just kind of take the end of this wand and kind of work his body a little bit, work his back area here, so it feels good. And then I'm going to go ahead and lengthen this out and say to him, can you walk around and carry this? See, standing still is fine. They need to be able to stand still, but the real lift. See how quick her release was? See, if your releases aren't good, so come back here. Here's what I want you to do. Your horse. You're bending your horse through. One leg forward, one leg back. Turn your body where you're going. Don't follow the horse in front of you. That's cheating. Me. Because there's this thing right here that says good. Looks pretty good. Perfect. 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 Wow, that was good. Okay, next team, Bill. Turn on.